Alright, so tonight's another double upload. It's another story time video. I, when I made the original video, I realized how many other crazy stories I could tell you. Anyways, in the background, it's probably playing Battlefield 5. I'm assuming, unless it's playing something else. I don't care. But anyways, so today the news story is going to be about how I stole a John Deere tractor from an incestuous redneck. Okay, so let's lay the scene. I'm in the middle of Nebraska. Nebraska, if you didn't know, is scientifically flatter than a pancake if you factor in the curvature of the entire state and everything around it. So I could see things from 100 miles. I'm just driving through in my Camaro. So I'm doing there, no one lives in Nebraska. It almost doesn't exist. I think about probably 4 people live there. But I was driving through and I saw a farm. And I was like, huh, it looks abandoned. That's how run down this place is. It's so dilapidated and everything. So I need to stop saying so. I went into the barn that I pulled over to the side of the road. It didn't even have a driveway. I don't know how they got out to sell their. I didn't know someone lived there, but apparently you'll see that someone does live there, incidentally. So why do I keep saying so? Oh my god. Okay, but anyways, I lost my train of thought. Yeah. Oh yeah, barn. So, stop saying so. I went into the barn and I was taking a peek around. There were some horses. There were some horses. There was nothing else. I mean, you can't store that many animals in a barn. It's mainly horses. It was like a stable-ish kind of thing. Trust me, I played Red Dead Redemption 2. I know about horses. Anyways, I went into the barn and I spotted the most magnificent thing I could ever do. It was a John Deere tractor. You may ask, what kind of tractor? Well, let me tell you what kind of tractor. It was search for types of John Deere tractors. Tractors, John Deere US. Utility tractors. It was a two-family compact utility. It was a two-family compact utility tractor. Yeah. It was one of those things. The tractors, they go like 90 miles per hour at minimum. They're John Deere tractor. Everyone knows what a John Deere tractor is, and so I was a little drunk. In fact, I was completely wasted. Just a little bit wasted. Had probably 30 shots of Everclear. Not that much. So I found a jerry can in the thing. I filled up the tractor and I got it going. And I went out there and of course the tractor can only go like 30 miles per hour. So I busted out the doors and I started, driving around doing donuts, plowing the fields. I wasn't plowing, I was running them over, but still, I probably cost that family their weekly rations of food, because Nebraska's in a drought right now. Anyways, that family died and probably starved to death after I left. Anyways, I eventually hear, even through like the loud engine of the John Deere tractor, I was someone busted down the door to this farmhouse. Like I said, rotting wood, black mold, etc. And all I hear is, "Dang nabbit, who stole my tractor?" And I was scared because I heard a shotgun it go off. You could clearly tell it was a shotgun, and I was like, I immediately pulled over. I stopped the tractor in the middle of the field, and I got off, and I kind of snuck around, looked around the corner of the tractor, and just barely see. It was like 9 p.m. by the way. I could just barely see the farmer or rancher, whatever he was. I think he was growing corn. I think it was corn. Anyways, he was buff. He was pretty much the sexiest man I've ever seen in my life. You know, like not even in a gay kind of manner. He was a sexy, handsome fellow, and I was like, oh no, he is going to beat me senseless if he ever finds me. So I'm kind of like just doing some, kind of spying. He's looking for me. In fact, he shot right near me a couple times, just firing blank shots in the air. And then I just see out of the corner of my eye in the door. He's like, I realized, oh yeah, that's his wife, because the way they're talking, they're like, honey, did you find him yet? Is it safe to come out? And he's like, no, honey. No, honey. It's not safe. Go back inside. Wait, that wasn't the wrong right voice. Anyways, you get the point. And I'm trying to get a better look of the woman, and I'm like, huh. She looks a lot like that farmer. A lot like that farmer. I'm like, and my brain kind of paused for a few seconds, and I'm like trying to connect the dots here, and I realize, wait a minute, redneck, tractor, wife that looks similar. That's his sister. Anyways, so I'm like, wow, this dude is married to his sister. I assume it's his sister. I mean, unless it's his mother, which, anyways, it was his sister. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that, and I know for a fact it was, because of I saw the family portrait. Yep, they're brother and sister. Because I broke into their house later and stole their dog and ate it later, just to spit in their face. Because I was kind of mad because he scared me. He scared diddled me, and so I'm waiting. I'm like, there's no way that I just happened to stumble upon. Literally 4 people live in Nebraska, so I just encountered 2 of them, and then I realized that house is awfully big for 2 people. And then I'm like looking in there, I'm like, oh my god, they have kids. So I needed to get a look at these because genetic diversity, they tainted the gene pool. Their kids probably have something wrong with them. So I wanted to get a good look and maybe get some likes on Instagram for posting them. Something like that for my meme page with 300 followers. You better follow it. Anyways, I broke into their house because eventually I waited for about 2 hours. It is now currently 11 to 12 a.m. Waited 2 hours to come down from the roof. And I walk up the stairs. Like I said, the wood is creaking to hell. I don't know how they didn't hear me. I almost broke my leg climbing up the stairs. That's how insanely run down this place is. Like, I cannot stress that enough. I could smell the mold. Anyways, I walked into the room. The assume it was a child's bedroom. I see an apparition, like a silhouette in the shadow, and they didn't have a light. They had a candle. So I took out a match, just lit the candle. I'm like, and the child wakes up. It frightens the hell out of me, because imagine you're in the dark and you just light a candle and a child just raises out of bed and turns a 90-degree angle towards you. Their eyes are glowing. They like slowly contort. You ever seen a contortionist that like bends backwards and stuff and can like fold themselves like 3 times? Yeah, that's what the child did. He did. I could see that the child didn't have bones. It was like pure cartilage. That's how creepy it was. He started like just started yelling. I'm like, bro, are you like some kind of siren? And he has 4 arms. So he's like hanging from the ceiling, flinging turds at me. Like he had a diaper. He looked about 5 years old. He had a diaper on, and he starts flinging his stuff on, like he's his turds at me, hanging from the ceiling with one arm, and he's like, and it's the weirdest sound and creepiest one you've ever seen in your entire life. And of course, because there's fight, flight, or freeze. I did a mixture of freeze and fight, because what would you do in that situation? Because that child's eyes were glowing. He looked like he hadn't eaten in 40 months. Anyways, and I just hear a door open from behind me, and I just see another child. This one he has 2 arms, but she has 4 legs, and she's crab walking. Like, how do I explain this? Imagine crab walking with, instead of, you have 2 legs on the ground and 2 arms. The 2 arms are 2 legs, and the body is in the middle. How do I? So 4 legs on the ground, and it comes together in a body and raises up into a head. Kind of like a spider in a way, if the spider's head was in the middle of its body. It was really terrifying. And she starts spinning at me, and the spit has acid in it. And it was crazy. So I'm on the verge of death, of anxiety, almost having a heart attack, and I just hear, "I knew I'd catch you, some bitch." And so he busts through the door, and so does his wife, and they're like, and I'm like, "Bro, your child is dying." And he's like, "Nah, she just kind of special." And I'm like, "All right, man, all right." And then we have dinner. It's about 2 a.m. Kyle, stop calling me. We have dinner, and we settled our differences, and then I was walking out, and he shot me. He shot me in the back. He shot me, and he buried me alive. The only reason I survived is because I know I've been buried alive several times. President of Zimbabwe, the U.S. government, my mom. So, yeah. That is how I broke in, stole a tractor from a redneck, and met an incestuous redneck family that made up the entire population in Nebraska. Hope you enjoyed.